coping skills for stressed parents. Okay, they've done research on people that are very, very busy and yet who seem to manage and not suffer from stress. And there's about, I think, 6 or 7 key things that they do. So one of the things that they do is they disconnect from technology. They just disconnect. You know, it's like they leave their work hat at work and they come home and they put their home hat on or their parent hat on or whatever. So they disconnect, they maybe have boundaries around technology. 6 to 8 no phones is very good when you have young children because they have missed you all day and they need time with you. And if you're there, only arrived in, you haven't seen them all day and they've missed you and they look at you and you're on your phone, it makes them feel that you don't actually value them. It makes them feel that your work is more important. It has a negative impact on them, it has a negative impact on their behaviour, and it impacts also on their self-esteem. So for lots of reasons, maybe look at setting some boundaries around technology. In addition, set boundaries around the workday. You know, I know myself, I'm self-employed, that work expands to fit the time available. Set a time to leave work by. And the funny thing is, when you do that, you tend to leave at that time, and the work seems to also get done. Successful people who deal with stress well tend to sleep between 7 to 8 hours a night. The other thing is that they squash negative self-talk. So they may have lots of stuff going on, they may have walked out of a meeting and they're not going to beat themselves up over it. They're going to squash negative self-talk, they're going to keep perspective. One of the key ways of keeping perspective is actually through taking time out for yourself. I call it take time and space for yourself. Go for a walk, go for a run, go to the gym, see a friend, have a laugh. All of these things help us cope with all the things that we need to cope by. We need to eat well. We need to recognize that if we're taking a drink, we need to just be careful that it hasn't become what I like to call a fake friend. You know, something that I turn to because I need to sort of not talk about the day. It's better to express and say I had a really rotten day than to come home and open a bottle. So it's so important just to recognize the importance of taking care of ourselves physically and emotionally through expressing if we've worries or concerns or anxieties about something. Also, just to see friends, set a date night with your partner, which is so important. So many times I'm out in companies and it's often the men that will say, I really need to do that. It's kind of like that if you say we'll go out once a week or once a month, it'll happen. And if I don't, it won't. So just recognize that if you want to have good coping skills, it actually makes you more resilient. And more resilient means it doesn't matter what life throws at you. It means you pick yourself up, you dust yourself down and you get on with it because you're doing these things.